The wife of Republican Arkansas State Representative Stephen Meeks has admitted to replacing books in free library boxes with Bibles. So now Jennifer Meeks posted this to social media. I've been swapping up books in little free libraries for a while. Recently, I've been picking up free Bibles at flea markets and thrift stores. Sometimes I find good devotion books or kids' Bible stories at a good price to add. Okay, now, so let me get to the first part. So the way this works is that Little Free Library, which is run by a nonprofit organization with the same name, provides free book boxes. Okay, so you go in and it's stocked with books of all types, diverse books, kids' books, etc. And so, you know, they also make sure to include BIPOC and LGBTQ plus books, voices, right? And as well as books that allow you to encourage understanding and empathy. So, yes, again, a wide range of reading materials. So now, Jennifer Meeks appears to have a problem that some of the books in these libraries do not align to her Christian values. Well, I've got an easy solution to that. Don't read them. I know it seems really, really simple. Wow! Don't read them. If they don't align to your values, move along. Move along. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with her adding her own books to it. Where it gets wrong is, well, what I'm going to point out. So now, she said in this post that she had seen a bunch of pride stuff in one. And it made her very, very upset, apparently. Now, she replied to one comment saying this, quote, I've taken out a bad one and left a good one in its place. Oh, you've left a good one? Really? Well, the problem with that is that basically you're silencing other voices by not allowing other people to access those reading materials and replacing it again with something that you like, that you approve of, and that pushes your religion. That's religious indoctrination. So now Jennifer's husband, though, Stephen Meeks, claims that her post was taken out of context. Oh, context, context, context. He said, somebody on the left took that and interpreted as my wife going all over Central Arkansas, pulling pride books out of these little libraries and replacing them with Bibles. And nothing is further than the truth. Except that, you know, she admitted it. She admitted that's exactly what she was doing. Taking pride books out and replacing them with Bibles. I mean, again, literally admit it. The gaslighting that is going on here. I'm not saying that she was going all around Arkansas and doing that, and specifically only pulling out pride books. But in her local area, if she sees a pride book, what does she do? She's going to pull it out while she's putting Bibles in there. Now, a screenshot of the original post was shared on the Faulkner County Coalition for Social Justice, their Facebook page. Now, the group responded to a part of Jennifer's post about there being a group of leftists who are very active in keeping little libraries well stocked. What seems to be the problem there? Oh, right, they're keeping a stock book she doesn't like. Now, they responded to her post saying, quote, keep removing them, Jennifer. We won't stop. Damn. There's nothing better than leftists actually being strong and standing up for their values. So now look, again, the issue here is not her sharing Bibles. I don't care if you put Bibles or religious stuff in there. The Bible fits in perfectly with other fictional materials. No problem. The issue here is her removing books that she doesn't like. Now, look, I believe in freedom. I believe in the free marketplace of ideas. So I'm perfectly fine with the Bible being put into these bookshelves. Sure, totally, fine, whatever. Now, that said, the Meeks do not believe in this. In fact, Stephen Meeks voted in favor of a bill that criminalizes librarians for knowingly distributing material that the state finds to be obscene. So under the law, members of the public can challenge the appropriateness of a book. Under that process, officials at both the school and municipal libraries must convene committees to review and decide, through votes, whether a challenged book should be moved to the areas of the library that are not accessible to minors. So basically locked off. As if it's like a porn section or something. Well, now the issue that comes to mind is, what do you consider to be obscene? Does the law have any examples of what's obscene? Not that I can see. It's pretty vague. And and by the way, its vagueness is one of the reasons that a judge blocked the bill. Now, there are other reasons, of course. The fact that it runs afoul of the First Amendment. On July 29th, U.S. District Judge Timothy L. Brooks issued a preliminary injunction against the law after a coalition that included the Central Arkansas Library System in Little Rock, as well as the ACLU, had challenged the law, saying fear of prosecution under the measure could prompt libraries and booksellers to no longer carry titles that could be challenged. So this is under First Amendment grounds. It is a First Amendment case. And another argument that they use, by the way, is the standard in the statute basically blanket treats everyone under the age of 18 the same way. So, for example, if a book is not age appropriate for a 5-year-old, that same law stipulates that that same book is also inappropriate for a 17-year-old. Now, there's a big difference in maturity between a 5-year-old and a 17-year-old. Stuff that's inappropriate for a 5-year-old is totally appropriate for a 17-year-old. And so, what are you going to do? You're just going to ban everything that, 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds shouldn't read? For teenagers? Older teenagers? Mature teenagers? No, it's ridiculous. Even though they're both considered minors under the law, that doesn't mean that they're at the same level of age appropriateness when it comes to reading materials. Nobody thinking logically would ever come to the conclusion that a book that might be too graphic for that 5-year-old and not appropriate, and there are plenty of books that are not appropriate, the Bible included. If you've ever read through it, you know it's filled with slavery, rape, murder, etc. And abortion, by the way. That book, not appropriate for a 5-year-old, but it doesn't mean a 17-year-old couldn't read it. It's all about age appropriateness. But that's how vague and widespread this law is, which makes me believe that the people who are trying to get this passed didn't care about things being age appropriate. It's mainly for them trying to remove books that they don't like from the library. Books that, again, mention LGBTQ plus topics, as well as things like racism, etc. And so this lady, by the way, proves her intent by removing books that she didn't like from these little libraries and replacing them with her Bible, with these Bibles and Bible stories in order to indoctrinate children. Remember, it's always projection. Every accusation is a confession. Oh, the left is trying to indoctrinate the children. No, that's you guys. That's you guys. That said, we know what the right wing is about. They're for censorship, against free speech, against the free exchange of ideas. They're also pro-cancel culture, pro-indoctrination of children into Christianity. That's who they are, and when people show you who they are, you should believe them.